As the U.S. continues to make progress in the fight against the coronavirus, another bright spot. The FDA authorized Pfizer vaccine for emergency use in children ages to 15, from 12 to 15. How soon shots could be administered still ahead.
Some residents speaking out against a plan to run sewage and water lines through protected lands. Why they say they want SAWS to reconsider.
Live from KSAT 12, the news at noon starts right now.
Developing right now on the city's west side, a heavy police presence as officers investigate reports of an assault here. It's happening in the 2600 block of West Ward, that is near Highway 90 and West Military.
We are told one person was taken to the hospital to be checked out. Police say that person is considered a suspect in this case. We will bring you more information when we have it.
You heard them. Storms rolling in overnight, some strong enough to cause a scare. Over on the northeast side, fire crews say a lightning strike hit a house and caused a small fire.
Crews put it out fast. No one was hurt. However, those storms stayed vigilant.
And this noon, we're keeping an eye still to the sky because there's more rain in the forecast.
Yeah, Justin Horn is tracking the latest for us so we can see a repeat of yesterday, maybe even more than we saw yesterday.
We are expecting some more storms today. Hail, gusty winds are going to be the main threats again, and most of the area could be under the gun a little bit later this afternoon and this evening. Here's what we're watching right now. You see the showers and storms, lightning strikes. These white lines represent lightning strikes. We're seeing that up around Brady, up across parts of the hill country, and then back down towards north of Del Rio, starting to see some activity there. This is all going to be working east and southeast. And I think as we get into the late afternoon hours and evening hours, you'll see the radar become a little bit more active. Severe weather risk today, slight risk everywhere you see in yellow. This is an upgrade from what we were looking at earlier. This does include San Antonio and much of the area, and that's because we do have some of that energy coming in from the west. On top of that, we have a frontal boundary, stationary frontal boundary draped across the area, so that gives us some lift too. Temperatures south of this front in the 80s, even 90s in some cases. North of it, 60s and 70s, so there's quite a difference there. Our forecast here in San Antonio calls for a high right around 80. We'll bump rain chances up to about a 60% shot during the late afternoon and evening hours and into tonight as well. More chances of rain down the line by the week, and we'll talk more about that coming up in just a bit. Guys.
Thank you, Justin. We want to bring you the latest on the coronavirus because the FDA has now authorized Pfizer's vaccine for emergency use in children ages 12 to 15.
As ABC's Rena Royer tells us, shots could go into the arms as early as this week if the vaccine gets the final green light from the CDC.
Millions of American children could soon be rolling up their sleeves to get their COVID-19 shot.
I think this is absolutely huge. The idea that now there's another 17 million people who will have the opportunity to be protected.
The FDA announcing the Pfizer vaccine can be given to 12 to 15-year-olds after the drug maker reported it's 100% effective against the coronavirus for that age group with no safety concerns. Some parents, like Rosa Villanueva of Houston, Texas, have been eagerly waiting for this moment.
Just saw it in the news last week or two. I don't know when it came out. My husband sent me the text and I started crying in the car. I'm like, oh my God, it's happening.
And this teenager from Kentucky helped us get here. 14-year-old Ty Dropick took part in Pfizer's clinical trial in December.
It's a really good process. It's really helps the community. So do it, if not for you, for the community.
In an exclusive interview with ABC News, Pfizer's CEO says that 12 to 15-year-olds should get the same 2 shots as adults.
It requires 2 doses because this is the way that we will be able to accomplish good enough immunity for one to be at 95%.
Still, some are hesitant, but experts say the data shows it's safe.
There's for sure benefits that have really been thoroughly proven in these trials. And those benefits are here and now, right, in terms of the safety for kids and their households and our broader community.
Now, the vaccine still needs final approval for that age group. An independent CDC advisory panel will be meeting Wednesday and could issue a recommendation. From there, the CDC director is expected to give the green light, and shots could go into arms the next day. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
New at noon, people gathered this morning to protest a SAWS plan to run sewage and water lines through protected land. The sewer line will serve 420 residents that are part of a development by a national home builder. The water and sewer mains will run through conservation easements held by the city of San Antonio's Edwards Aquifer Protection Program. Residents are worried about what this could mean.
we like this way of life. We like the charm that it has. We feel like it's part of our heritage, being from the hill country of Texas, and it's something we want to pass on to our children.
If the EAPP easement landowners refuse the offer from SAWS for the construction easement to run water and sewer lines through their property, the San Antonio City Council could be called upon to vote on whether to exercise the right of eminent domain to run the SAWS lines through their properties.
Family Tapestry at the San Antonio Children's Shelter now canceling its contract with the Department of Family and Protective Services. This move coming weeks after the nonprofit was required to remove all children in its care at their emergency shelter. The state said the conditions at the shelter were unacceptable and threatened the safety of the children who were staying there. The future of the state's community-based care initiative expected to be discussed during a House and Human Services Committee. It's a meeting that is taking place today at the Texas legislature.
Tonight, the city of San Antonio is hosting a virtual town hall on police services, and everyone is invited to take part. The city says it wants input from people on what they expect is the role of the police in the community. They also want input on response alternatives for responding to potential calls for service. Residents can participate by phone or Zoom. This is the second of the city-wide community discussions being held by the city. You will be able to ask questions during the meeting. To participate, you have to register online, and you can find more information on the City of San Antonio website, or you can watch the town hall on the city's Facebook page tonight. It starts at 6 and lasts till 7:30.
Judson ISD is going to be hosting several blood drives at each of their high schools in memory of Judson High School football player Bryce Wisdom. Bryce battled a rare form of kidney cancer known as Wilms tumor. He lost his battle with cancer last summer. The blood drive opened to the community today from 2 p.m. at Wagner High School. You can also donate Thursday from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. at Veterans Memorial High School. All donations are by appointment only. You can schedule your appointment right now by calling the number on your screen. It is 210-731-5590, or you can visit the southtexasblood.org/Bryce Strong website.
The Spurs pull off a historic win over the Bucks last night at the AT&T Center. We've got the highlights coming up in sports.
Replacing home appliances or electronics can be a costly task. After the break, what you should consider before you make a big purchase on something that you just can't repair yourself.
Did you know manufacturers can actually prevent us from fixing our personal electronics or home appliances?
In today's Money, It's Personal, Ivan Herrera explains what you can do before you go out and buy an expensive product that you can't fix on your own.
When your phone breaks, do you repair it yourself or go to the place that sold it to you? The Federal Trade Commission released a report this month that found some manufacturers prevent consumers from fixing the items they buy with their hard-earned money. The report found that some companies make it harder to remove batteries, limit the availability of spare parts, and won't give customers the repair instructions and software needed to figure out a problem with the item they purchased. The FTC is offering the following tips for consumers to consider before they make a big purchase on something they can't repair themselves. First, figure out the lifespan of the product you're thinking of buying. Next, determine what is likely to go wrong if your product breaks. And finally, ask yourself how hard it will be to fix the defective item. The FTC says if your item's warranty covers a repair and it hasn't expired, the manufacturer can't refuse to make the repair even if you took the item to an independent repair shop to fix or maintain it. If a manufacturer says the warranty was voided or will be voided because of an independent repair, report it to the FTC at reportfraud.ftc.gov. For this week's Money It's Personal, I'm Ivan Herrera, KSAT 12 News.
Like some of us are actually going to open up a phone and try to fix it.
Well, if you're Justin Horn, you might, because he's super smart.
I don't know about that. No, that's beyond my scope, for sure. The aquifer is down a little bit today, down 0.2 foot, 665.2, despite the fact that we did get rain last night, but we should see it come up some in the next few days. And in the pollen counts, just mold. It's at moderate levels, 810. We are watching the radar, some storms out there already. We'll take a look when we come back.
Never miss a story, watch live or when you want. San Antonio's latest news and weather, streaming free on KSAT TV.
So what was it? Yesterday he was talking about a 40% chance of rain.
And I was in the 40%
You
that
were?
got rain.
Were you?
Yeah.
I get nothing.
And you were in the
I was
60%
in the
that
60%.
did not.
So there you go. So
Yeah.
now we understand how all these percentage things work.
Playing with the odds here.
Yeah.
Listen, we have about a 40% chance this afternoon. We're going to up that again tonight to 60% chance. So it's pretty similar setup. We're watching what's going on out to the north and west. That's going to be our first focus. And let's quickly take a look at what to expect today. We've got mostly cloudy skies here in San Antonio right now. We're watching storms developing north and west of San Antonio, and those will work their way south and east and could affect us by the evening time and then the nighttime hours. I think we have some pretty good chances of rain tonight. There could be some storm clusters. It all depends on where they set up, and where we do see some of those clusters, we're going to get some heavy rain, likely overnight, like what we saw last night, where we picked up 2 to 3 inches in some cases out there in Medina and Uvalde counties with that cluster of storms. Here's the live radar right now, and we see those showers and storms beginning to take shape here near Kimball County there, near Junction, and then stretching down into Edwards County and Del Rio, getting a few light showers at this hour. Notice there's kind of more or less a broken line here developing. That's that energy moving east, and I think as it gets a little bit closer to us, and if it can tap into some more instability, which is possible too, because we are starting to get some clearing, plus we have a front draped across the area. Those are all the ingredients we need to get some thunderstorms going. Here's a bigger picture with cloud cover, and does show there's a nice cluster of storms up to the north, east of San Angelo. And then there's some of that new development. We're also watching what's going on out in Mexico. Some of that could work east and kind of cluster together tonight. So a lot to watch here. It's a pretty complicated scenario, so it makes the forecast a little tricky here. But I think that the general idea is that storm chances will pick up this evening and tonight. So this is around 3 o'clock. Shows showers and storms there from Rock Springs, stretching up towards the hill country. And then by 6 o'clock, some of this is working towards I-35. Again, we're also watching what's going on out west, Del Rio, Eagle Pass. There could be some storms coming out of Mexico at this point. And then this shows some more clusters perhaps developing around 10 o'clock. And I think some of our eastern counties may get in on the rain this time, where you may have missed out last night. A little better chance even east of I-35 and I-37 as we get into tonight. Tomorrow, I think we quiet down in the morning, maybe a couple showers, and there could be a few more into the afternoon. So even tomorrow, there's still some rain chances there. And then finally, it tapers off Thursday into Friday. This is a bit of an update. So the Storm Prediction Center has put basically the entire area within a slight risk of severe weather, meaning large hail, gusty winds, a possibility with any of these storms that develop. Especially, again, if we can get some instability there. Right now, it's still cloudy, 73 at the airport, east-northeasterly winds at about 6. But notice down to our south, we've got temperatures once again jumping into the 80s and even 90s. To the north, it's still in the 40s and 50s. So this frontal boundary still fairly potent. It's just kind of stuck here, and maybe tries to lift a little bit further north to where we get some of this warmer air here in San Antonio. It's 80 in Pleasanton, 81 in Gonzales, and very humid south of the front as well. Forecast highs today, again, a little tricky depending on where this front sets up, but we're thinking 70s in the hill country, 80 here around San Antonio, and then some much warmer numbers down to the south. We're putting in a 60% chance of rain by 5 o'clock into 7 o'clock. Easterly winds 5 to 15, and we'll keep that going overnight. 68 tomorrow, cloudy, 30% chance of showers. I think it will be cooler tomorrow. And then look for 76 Thursday, 81 Friday. And by the weekend, rain chances come back into the forecast. We could see some showers and storms as early as Saturday, and that continues into early next week, guys.
So the high tomorrow, only 68.
Cool. Very unusual for this date. Yeah.
Thanks, Justin.
Yep.
We are just a few days away from Tim Duncan going into the Basketball Hall of Fame. We'll hear from him about his desire to win. And the Texans ready to open rookie camp with a quarterback situation. fans didn't want to turn away from the Spurs game last night because they were making history throughout the game, and it was against one of the top teams in the East, the Milwaukee Bucks. Plus, it was Military Appreciation Night. First quarter, here we go. Keldon Johnson, Lonnie Walker in the fourth hit back-to-back three-pointers, and the Spurs were up 31-26. Reigning MVP Giannis Antetokounmpo down the lane. Woo. But the veterans Patty Mills and Rudy Gay came off the bench for a big night. They hit a pair of threes late in the frame. Spurs score 45 in the first, up 45-36 after one. San Antonio stays hot in the second quarter. DeJounte Murray knocks down the long jumper. The Spurs go up 11, and Jakob Poeltl finds Walker cutting to the basket, lay in. The Spurs scored 87 points in the first half, the highest scoring first half in Spurs history. They were up 87-64 at the break. We go to the third quarter. Bucks cut the lead down to 14. Jakob comes up with the block. San Antonio pushes the pace. Mills is going to hit a three at the other end. One of 6 on the night to break out of his slump. San Antonio up 113-95 heading into the fourth. Spurs finished shooting nearly 60% from the field as well as from three. They hit 17 threes last night. 6 Spurs scored 19 or more. DeMar DeRozan led the way with 23. They win it convincingly, 146-125 to keep solid hold on that 10th spot in the West.
We know these last few games mentally we got to lock in. So I know everybody was ready to play against Milwaukee. We gave up one at their home, and we knew, coming here, we had to pick it up. They're a great team, so we had to play the best of our capability, and we just came up with the win.
All right, they got 2 in a row on the road now. Tomorrow night, they are in Brooklyn to take on the Nets. Tip-off for that one is at 7 o'clock. Hey, it is a big weekend for the Spurs as well. Off the court, this Saturday, Tim Duncan will be inducted into the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame in ceremonies conducted in Connecticut. The class of 2020 that also includes the late Kobe Bryant and Kevin Garnett, delayed a year due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Duncan, who retired from the game after 19 years with the same team, same coach, 5 NBA championships to show for it, was asked recently where he found his competitiveness that produced the best power forward in the game.
Combination of a competitiveness on my own part, a love for playing the game, just love playing, hating losing. That's a big one. I don't think it gets enough credit. And an organization kind of committed to putting the best things in place to give a city, a team, a player like myself an opportunity to win year in and year out.
You can be a part of the enshrinement. Look at this. Thursday from 12 to 6 and Friday from 2 to 7 at the AT&T Center. It's the Fan Photo Walk. Take some photos with all 5 NBA championship trophies and Tim Duncan's 3 NBA Finals MVP trophies. Hey, there is a big question the Houston Texans have to start answering when they open up rookie camp this Thursday, along with most of the NFL. That question: will star quarterback Deshaun Watson be available for the kickoff of the 2021 regular season, since he's facing 22 civil lawsuits accusing him of sexual assault and inappropriate conduct during massages? Chairman and Chief Executive Officer Cal McNair made an appearance at the team's charity golf classic and was asked how he feels about his quarterback situation right now, since the Texans used their first pick in the 2021 draft to select Stanford quarterback Davis Mills as insurance should Watson be suspended or wrapped up in court. They have also traded for former Bengals quarterback Ryan Finley and signed Tyrod Taylor through free agency.
I'd hate to speak for Nick or Coach Culley, but I think what they would probably say is they'll take whoever they have and they'll go play wherever it is. If it's in the parking lot, if it's out here on the golf course, if it's in the stadium, they're going to take that team and go try to win.
And with the uncertainty surrounding Watson's future with the team, new general manager Nick Caserio was asked, what is the timeline for bringing along Mills?
No different than any other player. Bring them in, teach them our system, teach them our terminology, take it one step at a time. Again, different players are going to be able to absorb more information than others. Some can learn it quickly and move on to the next thing. Okay, so each player is going to be different.
And back to Tim Duncan, really excited about being able to talk about him again and all the things that he did for the city and for this team, and watch him go into the Hall of Fame on Saturday.
So you can actually get up close to those trophies?
See those trophies right there, yeah. Pretty good, huh?
Yeah, that's a pretty good deal.
Pretty good deal.
All right, tax season coming up Real close. Procrastinators beware. Coming up in our next half hour, we have some helpful tips on the do's and don'ts when filing your taxes for this year.
And a scam is gaining traction. Callers are pretending they are federal agents, intimidating victims out of thousands of dollars. We'll listen to one of these calls after the break so you know what to listen for.
That ransomware attack at a U.S. pipeline raising talks of higher gas prices as well as a shortage. But will the Colonial Pipeline issue really affect us here in Texas? Coming up today at 5, 12 on your side's Marilyn Moritz explains why that's not the case and the price you could expect at the pump when planning your summer road trip.
And welcome back. We're looking at a live shot there over the city of San Antonio. Still some cloudy skies here. We're awaiting some showers and storms a little bit later this afternoon. We've been watching the activities for the blossom on radar, still well off to our west, but we're expecting some of that to move in later today. I want to first, though, start with a picture from our KSAT Connect. Some rain last night. Now, not everybody got rain. Those storms died right as they came into San Antonio, but folks on the west side certainly did. This is the west side of San Antonio, picked up about ½ an inch. We appreciate the pictures, and some bigger totals to the west of that. Places like Castroville and Hondo picked up some rain, and also some very gusty winds from those storms last night. Here's a look at some of those totals. Brackenville, about 1/10 of an inch. Carrizo Springs, some much needed rain there, over 1 inch of rain last night. Canepa, over 2 inches. Hondo, over 2 inches. And yes, Hondo saw a 70-mile-per-hour wind gust. Not what they wanted to see. It's been a pretty bad severe weather season there along Highway 90. Here in town, just 1/100 of an inch at the airport, but 1/4 of an inch there on the southwest side. And if you're far west side, again, up to 1/2 an inch potentially last night. We'll see if we add to that today. The radar shows showers and storms up across parts of the hill country up towards Brady, just east of San Angelo. More development north and west of Rock Springs. This should be working in our direction as we get later into the afternoon and evening hours. There is a slight risk of severe weather today for the entire viewing area. We'll primarily be watching for some hail and gusty winds. There could be some pockets of heavy rain as well. 40% chance of rain this afternoon. We'll up that to a 60% chance this evening and tonight. Temperatures topping out near 80 degrees today, guys.
Thank you, Justin.
Russian officials say at least 7 students and a teacher have been killed after a gunman attacked a school in Kazan.
As ABC's Ian Panel reports, at least 1 man now in custody.
At least 8 people are reported to be dead, 7 children and a teacher in this terrible school shooting in Kazan, one of Russia's largest cities, about 500 miles east of Moscow. More than 20 are reported to have been hospitalized, but 6 of them are said to be in an extremely critical condition. There are harrowing videos of children desperately trying to climb out of the school using ladders during the attack. Police have detained a 19-year-old man believed to be the alleged shooter. Russian media reporting a Telegram social media channel was allegedly created a few days ago by the arrested man, in which he's posing in combat-style clothes and also warning of a potential mass killing. President Putin has expressed his condolences, and he's ordered Russia's government to immediately begin tightening gun ownership regulations. But mass shootings in Russia are still very, very rare, and this stands out as one of the worst in the country's history. Ian Panel, ABC News, London.
Back here in Washington, D.C., House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy has set a Wednesday vote for removing Representative Liv Cheney from her Republican leadership post. McCarthy sent a letter to GOP lawmakers saying it was clear he and his fellow Republicans, quote, need to make a change, end quote. McCarthy's letter did not mention Cheney or former President Donald Trump by name, but the move comes after Cheney repeatedly challenged Trump's false accusations on a rigged election over widespread voter fraud.
Turning now to the emergency at the pump across the United States. Many East Coast gas stations will soon be drying up. The situation already critical in North Carolina, where the governor has declared a state of emergency. Gas station chain Racetrack has 550 stations across the Southeast. It's seeing some outages in several states. Not only are our vehicles affected, though, airlines are also being impacted by the supply of jet fuel. Some are worried that this kind of attack could cause future issues.
The fact that a criminal gang could cause this kind of mayhem within the U.S. economy should worry us.
By the way, we'll be talking about this on KSAT 12 News at 5, what the impact would be in Texas. Any impact from gas prices from this attack should be temporary. National security experts say the attack raising serious questions, though, about our cyber security and infrastructure.
Now to a warning about those scam calls we all get. Some of those crooks are posing as DEA agents in order to get money from you. The Drug Enforcement Administration says scammers will call people up and then claim to be an agent working a case. The crook will then intimidate the victim into handing over money and personal information like your social security number. Scammers may even tell their target that by handing over money, they'll avoid prosecution. Here's one of those calls.
We found an abandoned car on the south border of Texas, and that car contains some blood and drug residues inside it. The car was rented on your name.
The call continues with the fake DEA agent telling the victim that all the accounts associated with their name and social security number will be frozen.
One victim told ABC News she was scammed out of nearly $3,000 after a scammer told her we're going to freeze her bank accounts unless she did what they said.
The Biden administration says 1 million people have signed up for health insurance on the federal government's exchange during a special enrollment period for Obamacare. Normally, only people experiencing life changes like divorce or job loss are allowed to sign up outside of the annual open enrollment period. But the Biden administration opened the special enrollment in February as part of its response to the COVID-19 pandemic. Under Biden's COVID relief plan, monthly premiums are reduced by as much as more than 40% for some people. The special enrollment period open until August 15th. It's on the federal exchange.
Experts say the key to living a long life is keeping your heart healthy while you're young. With what you can do to help your heart, here's ABC's Alex Perchet.
Cardiometabolic diseases are the #1 cause of death globally. They include a number of related diseases like diabetes, kidney failure, stroke, and heart disease, which are mainly caused by an unhealthy lifestyle. Some activities like smoking or physical inactivity and poor diet increase your chances for cardiometabolic diseases. Experts at Boston University have found that maintaining healthy exercise and diet habits in your 40s and 50s can keep you free of these diseases in your senior years. Exercise alone was shown to lower the chances of cardiometabolic disease by more than 50%, and a healthy diet was shown to lower the chances by more than 30%. Together, physical activity and a nutritious diet were shown to lower these chances by more than 60%. Experts recommend either 150 minutes of moderate or 75 minutes of intense physical activity per week for adults. A full description of dietary recommendations can be found online at health.gov. With this Medical Minute, I'm Alex Perchet, ABC News.
The tax deadline just a few days away, and if you have not filed, we're going to tell you how you can get the refund you're due faster.
And coming up at noon, a new option for movie fans. We take a look at the film Those Who Wish Me Dead.
And after the break, are you still looking for a PS5? Well, you might be looking for a long time.
Hello, everyone. This is your daily tech and business briefing from Cheddar News. If one Shiba Inu cryptocurrency wasn't enough, meet Sheeb, which has taken the crypto world by storm. The Dogecoin knockoff seeing its price surge over 1,600% over the last week. This as it continued to pick up momentum from investors. The coin jumping even higher after Binance announced on Monday that they would list the token on their exchange. Meanwhile, electric scooter company Bird reportedly gearing up to go public via a SPAC. According to .LA, the company planning to merge with a blank check company focused on reducing the company's carbon emissions. The potential transaction would value Bird at roughly $2.3 billion. And Mattel wants you to give them your old toys. The toy company launching a pilot recycle program called Mattel Playback. They're accepting items from 3 brands, Barbie, Matchbox, and Mega Toys. The toys can be sent to Mattel by going to their website and printing a free shipping label and then mailing the toys back to the company. Mattel says those that cannot be repurposed will be turned into other products or converted from waste to energy. And that's your Cheddar News Business and Tech Update. I'm Baker Machado coming to you from Cheddar Studios in Lower Manhattan.
And more consumer news. If you've been hoping to get your hands on one of those new PlayStation 5s, good luck. The Sony executive reportedly told analysts that the new console will be in short supply for the rest of the year. The PS5 has been difficult to find since its release in November because of supply chain constraints. But even so, nearly 8 million units have been sold through March. Sony aiming to sell nearly 15 million in the current fiscal year.
E-commerce giant Amazon has shut down upwards of 10 billion listings as it cracks down on counterfeit products. Amazon says its verification process has stopped more than 6 million attempts to establish selling accounts. These changes come after shoppers, retailers, and lawmakers called for Amazon to crack down on counterfeit products.
You're almost out of time to tackle your taxes. The deadline is now less than a week away, and if you haven't gotten started, ABC's Deirdre Bolton has some tips for you.
Even though it's been an intense year for many, taxes are still due. Federal returns must be filed by May 17th. The IRS suggests electronic filing versus mailing. You'll get any refund you are due faster that way.
There's a directory of tax professionals on irs.gov where taxpayers can search for tax preparers with certain credentials.
If you have less than $72,000 a year in adjusted gross income, the IRS will get you free online tax preparation software. If you choose to work with a Tax Prep Pro, make sure they have a PTIN or Preparer Tax Identification Number.
Ask about their credentials. They're going to have very important and valuable information to you, such as your social security numbers.
If you're working virtually with a preparer, make sure they have a secure portal.
If your tax preparer said, oh, just email me your W-2s, that should be a warning sign that they're not taking security seriously.
Beware of tax time scams. The IRS will only communicate with you via U.S. mail.
The IRS will not send you an email. They're not going to call your house and threaten you.
If you do get a letter from the IRS, you can confirm it's legitimate by calling the IRS. On the flip side, do not cheat on your tax return.
It can be tempting to try to skirt things a little bit. If you don't report all of your income, the IRS will know that.
Lying when reporting your income is fraud. But what if you realize that you made a mistake after you filed?
If you made a mistake on your taxes, don't freak out. It can always be fixed.
As for mathematical mistakes, the IRS will correct them for you. For errors such as using the wrong filing status, you can file an amendment after your tax return is processed. Deirdre Bolton, ABC News.
We are on the lookout for more weather. We've got, well, I guess there's always weather, right? We're looking for potentially severe weather.
That's true. A few storms, I think, later this afternoon and this evening. So far, the radar is not terribly active, but we are watching what's going on out west. So we're going to get a break in the action before we see some more storms later this afternoon and tonight. 73 so far today. 63 was the low this morning. Records are 147. So shows you how hot it can be this time of year. But tomorrow, we're looking at highs potentially in the 60s. We'll take a look at that forecast coming up.
Checking out that radar. It looks like it's building a little bit more and more as we go. Sneaking a peek at the radar over there.
Yeah, it's trying to. And I know not everybody got rain last night. It was mostly west of San Antonio. But we'll see if we can spread the wealth a little bit more today. I can't guarantee that everybody's going to get rain. It'll be hit or miss, but we should have some pockets of heavier rain developing a little bit later today. Let's look at the radar right now. Start with what's out there at the moment. And you got to go all the way out to Sonora before you find some thunderstorms at this hour along I-10. But you'll notice we've got showers developing from Del Rio up to Sonora Junction and up into parts of the hill country this afternoon. And looking a little closer at Rock Springs, some showers developing just to the west of you. We had some storms develop here yesterday, worked towards Lakey, dropped some hail there. So far, nothing severe, just again some downpours here or there. And we'll go a little bit further south down towards Del Rio. We had some showers earlier. Those are generally moving east now. Brackenville, you may get a sprinkle, but doesn't look like there's much left. And so, yes, the radar isn't terribly active at this hour, but as we look at the big picture, we'll notice that We've got a nice cluster of showers and storms to the north and a little piece of energy that's swinging through, and that should give us more lift a little bit later today. I also want to watch what's going on here in Mexico. Just like last night, if we can get clusters of storms to develop here, they could work east and bring us some good rain a little bit later tonight. Also in play, frontal boundary that stretches right across San Antonio back off to the west. That helps to give us some lift too. So a lot of factors here. And the sun is trying to pop out here in San Antonio. If it does, temperatures will likely jump up quite a bit. Right now we're forecasting 80. If we get more sun, it could go a little warmer than that. And that also depends on where this front is located. Right now, trying to lift, it looks like a little bit further north. To the south of it, we're in the 80s. To the north, in the 70s, 60s, 69 in Comfort. But notice Stinson's at 79. The airport, it's at 73. So even a difference here across the city because of this front. 60s and 70s, Junction over to Rock Springs, but closing in on 90 now in Laredo. So some big differences there. I think here in town, again, somewhere around 80, maybe a little bit warmer than that. And then 80 in New Braunfels, 86 Gonzales, and then some 90s down to the south. There's the scene right now. We've got cloudy skies, 73, east-northeasterly winds at about 6 miles per hour. And here's what the forecast looks like today. This is around 1 o'clock. We'll fast forward to 3 o'clock, showing more development to the north and west of San Antonio. And this may work its way east and southeast, and we may get the tail end of it here, depending on what develops. But this shows showers and storms along I-35, and this would be around 6 o'clock. And then some more clusters developing. And again, this model doesn't show this, but we do want to watch also, again, what develops out west and works its way east. These could kind of merge. So there's several different scenarios, but we do think that there's about a 60% chance of rain tonight. Going into tomorrow morning, just a few showers, and we may see some more showers develop tomorrow afternoon with a slight risk of severe weather today. So this area is shaded in yellow. That's your slight risk. On a scale of 1 to 5, about a 2. Hail, gusty winds, your main threats. Forecast for today. 40% chance of rain around 2 o'clock, 60% chance of rain late this afternoon and this evening. And the extended forecast, 68 Wednesday cloudy, 30% chance of showers. It'll be cool tomorrow, mostly cloudy Thursday, partly cloudy Friday, and then some more rain chances this weekend. Saturday, Sunday, right now about a 40% chance of showers and storms. We could see some more pockets of heavy rain too. So getting into an active pattern here, guys.
Very tough forecast, man.
Indeed.
Thanks, Justin. Yep. Angelina Jolie tries to protect a 12-year-old murder witness from 2 assassins pursuing them through the wilderness. A preview of the new film ahead. Its Friday premiere still ahead. Angelina Jolie stars in a new thriller involving assassins and a massive wildfire.
CNN's Rick Damigella has more from the stars of this brand new movie.
I'm not gonna hurt you. I want to see where the blood's coming from. It's not my blood.
Angelina Jolie must protect a young boy from assassins in Those Who Wish Me Dead.
My dad said if anything happened, I should find someone I could trust.
I think what was nice is that it wasn't with this thought of, well, now we're going to show you a strong woman, or, oh, this is about how tough this woman. They're kind of interchangeable. What we do in the film, certainly what I do, it could be a male role. It wasn't and as a woman, it was just a really tough person who is also a woman.
I've learned a lot from Angelina, and she's a great screen partner, very professional, but very fun at the same time. I think we did really well, and I think it shows off in the film.
They'll have planes in the air soon.
Wonder whether we'll still be here.
That combination of a strong woman who, runs her survival school, who's at the peak of her physical abilities, but then we meet her at the height of her physical vulnerability because she's very pregnant.
I love nature. I love being outside. I love being able to really be where you're supposed to be. There wasn't a lot of green screen in this film. You could feel the fire. You could smell the smoke.
You're gonna run.
Run on for a long
and you're going to keep running.
In Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
What happens next?
Looks good.
Yeah, I was going to say, kind of scary bits and pieces.
And the food's good. over at Market Square right now.
Oh, speaking
Look at
of
this.
which,
Look at this. We are frying up everything chicken today with a new restaurant in town.
Yes, indeed. Gold Feathers, Birds and Beers, and Miguel Maya Goitia is here. And what is the secret to making the perfect fried chicken?
Well, you got to use fresh chicken, never frozen. Lots of seasoning. Make sure to put plenty of seasoning in your flour as well. Lots of eggs, lots of buttermilk in your wash. And finally, use really good oil.
Okay, and buttermilk's the real key to fried chicken,
it gives it that extra little crunch, that texture that you're looking for in fried chicken.
That chicken and waffles right there is next level stuff. And Jen is at a great place to cool off with the kids, right? And it's brand new.
Serving lunch, too.
That's right. We're getting a sneak peek at Sea Life San Antonio in the shops at River Center. And you can see things behind me, but also above me. Take a look. Super excited to meet some of our sea friends, and we may even feed one of the animals here. I can't tell you what just yet, but that's coming up, guys. I'm super excited.
Look at Jen under the sea.
I know. Just like in Little Mermaid, under the sea.
Now, speaking of under the sea, would you go into a shark cage? Like, would you go?
Like in Jaws, that Hooper did. And then it crashed through and he had to fall.
Well, I would hope that doesn't happen.
I hope it's stronger than that. If the bars were really close together and the shark was really
small, itty bitty sharks that don't fit through?
Probably so. What would you do?
Let us know at SA Live KSAT on Facebook and Twitter. We'll find out if I'll do it. I'll tell you in a few minutes. Yes.
Tease.
Oh, and we
got
also
that and a whole lot more coming up.